Happy Eid al-Adha to all Muslims, and hello everyone, you are watching our day news live from Amhara TV, and I am Fraser Admas. Stay tuned. Ethiopian Islamic Affairs Supreme Council called on the Muslim community to sustain peace and security, as well as extend support to the needy while celebrating Eid al-Adha. The 1439th celebration of Al-Adha is being vibrantly marked across Ethiopia by Islamic followers. Our reporter Abebe Brahani has more.
1439th Eid al-Adha Arafah holiday is being celebrated colorfully throughout the country. Especially in Bahar Dar and Addis Ababa, the Muslim community are assembled since early in the morning, and they think of their God in prayer. The Eid al-Adha Arafah's history is traced back to the spiritual event that Allah had tempted Prophet Ibrahim's love and faith to sacrifice his son. Since Prophet Ibrahim had perfect faith and love to God, he had taken his son to the place where he was ordered. Seeing and admiring his faith, God had given him a fattened sheep in turn. Then Ibrahim presented the fattened sheep to God as a sacrifice. Following this event, Islamic followers usually celebrate this holiday by slaughtering different cattle and animals. Religious scholars explain that this holiday has a direct relation with the history of Prophet Ibrahim, and the day is usually called Day of Slaughtering. General Council of Ethiopian Islamic Affairs extended its message to Islamic followers to have a happy holiday. The council added that the holiday should be celebrated by helping poor people and sharing what they have. In addition, the council said it condemns inhuman acts that are being committed in the country, and the Muslim community is expected to work together with other religious followers to ensure peace and security. It is explained that the society should support the change that Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed began.
Prime Minister Abiy said the educational structure of Ethiopia is riddled with problems that must be changed urgently. Abiy said education policies that was implemented over the past 2 decades and its achievement envisaged were not in line with the planned level. Abebe Brahani has more.
Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said Ethiopia is at a decisive juncture to bring structural changes in education to enable the country resolving multiple shortfalls in the sector. According to the Premier, the education policy that the country has tried to implement is riddled with visible crisis. Speaking on the first round nationwide meeting on the National Consultation of Educational Development Roadmap, Abiy said the education policy that was implemented over the past 2 decades and its achievements envisaged were not in line with the planned level. He noted, though the country endowed with abundant natural resources including water and arable land, it has failed to produce skilled manpower that could develop these resources. He further added that the education policy has also brought challenges in the area of construction, justice, finance, leadership, that the workforces lack moral values and unable to implement social contract they receive from the public. The Prime Minister said it is imperative to figure out the hurdles in the policy structure that hindered the nation to produce and mobilize productive and efficient citizens. Abiy noted that Ethiopia's educational policy doesn't have a room for indigenous knowledge but renders higher attention to Western education system. He added that the policy stresses on quantity by ignoring quality, which has practically resulted in the deployment of incompetent manpower in every sector. Therefore, it has become necessary to devise a well-structured training and education system tailored to the needs of the country. Ethiopia has a huge number of student population administered under the Ministry of Education, which demands appropriate organizational structure reform in the shortest possible time. The Premier pledged that the government of Ethiopia is committed to offer the necessary assistance and bring a fresh educational leadership to attain the desired result in the sector. Education Minister Dr. Traye Gete said on his part, the ministry has prepared a new educational roadmap to reform the sector in accordance with national vision and development goals. He pointed out that the great share of Ethiopia's economic production will come from manufacturing industry by providing middle and high-level skilled manpower to be supplied by the educational system. He indicated since Ethiopia targets to become a middle-income country, the roadmap would enable to supply highly skilled trainees to the economy. On the occasion, President of Addis Ababa University, Professor Tasso Waldhana, presented a work paper that assessed the way how to improve the education system of the country. On his paper, Professor Tasso proposed the formation of 3 ministries that would replace the current Ministry of Education. According to him, the ministry should be set up as a Ministry of Higher Education and Training, Ministry of General Education and Training, and the Ministry of Human Resource Development.
United Kingdom and Germany pledged to extend support for Ethiopia's education sector. They expressed their commitment to support the education development roadmap that Ethiopia has recently introduced. Take a look. United Kingdom and Germany have pledged to consolidate financial and technical support for Ethiopia's education sector. The two countries have expressed their commitment to support Ethiopia's newly introduced educational quality improvement program. Human Development Team Leader of United Kingdom's Department for International Development, Richard Arden, said UK is committed to assist the educational roadmap, which is the General Education Quality Improvement Program for Equity. He said UK is so pleased to this effort both technologically and financially, which wants to be part of the process. According to him, over the past 10 years, his country has engaged in supporting Ethiopia's development goals through UK's Department for International Development, particularly in education, health, and WASH programs. He also appreciated Ethiopia for its success story in improving educational coverage. Arden stated he believes Ethiopia has made great achievement in the last 10 years and they should recognize it as achievement. Project manager to German Development Bank, Peter Otis, said on his part that Germany has been providing assistance to Ethiopia in the sphere of vocational education and training in higher education institutions. He further stated that German Development Bank is on the way to enhance financial and technical assistance, especially in engineering to capacitate young educators. He added, Ethiopia is a viable African country for Germany support, adding that the assistance will be strengthened in facilitating Ethiopian education infrastructure. Ethiopia has launched a first-round educational development roadmap where Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed presided on the launching ceremony. You are watching our day news live from Amhara TV. Ethiopian People Revolutionary Democratic Front (EPRDF) Executive Committee started its ordinary meeting yesterday. According to a statement from EPRDF Council, the Executive Committee is expected to pass various decisions at the end of this meeting. Abebe Brahani has this account.
The Executive Committee of Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front started its ordinary meeting yesterday. Sadat Nasha, Public and External Relations Head Office of the APRDF Council, told Ethiopian news agency that the Executive Committee is expected to pass various decisions at the end of the meeting. It is to be recalled that the Executive Committee, in its last ordinary meeting held in June, passed major resolutions that would help to stimulate the economy and restore peace with the neighboring countries. The decision to open state-owned companies and public enterprise to domestic and foreign companies, as well as normalize the situation with Eritrea, were the major ones. The economic reforms would allow companies to own share of the public enterprise engaged in railway, industrial parks, hotels, sugar and manufacturing industries. Companies engaged in telecom, airline, electric generation and shipping service are also subject to the reform. The decision was passed in order to keep the momentum of the rapid economic growth and improve export performance. An advisory council that would oversee the privatization process has already been established by the Prime Minister this month. The decision to normalize the relationship by fully implementing the Algiers Agreement and decision of the Eritrea-Ethiopia Boundary Commission has already bears fruit. The visit of a high-level delegation led by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to Asmara has changed years of frozen communication to peaceful relationship. Following Abiy's footsteps, Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki was in Ethiopia for 3 days official visit and further created an opportunity to work in all sectors. The two countries have already agreed to forge the bilateral ties that have been stalled for over 2 decades.
Historians pointed out that the users have to be careful while studying the history of their country and their leaders. They also stated the history of Ethiopia and its leaders have been transferring to the generation in a deceptive manner. Abebe Brahani.
Emperor Minilik was born in 1836 in the former province of Shoa at a specific place called Angolela. Right after Emperor Minilik II came to power in 1882, he had performed different activities for his country and become the father of liberation for the black people. In the city of Bahar Dar, Emperor Minilik's 174th birthday commemoration has been celebrated splendidly. During the commemoration, different participants held a discussion concerning the history and deeds of Emperor Minilik for the sake of letting the existing generation know the right history of Emperor Minilik. The research which was presented during the discussion showed the fact that Emperor Minilik was a leader who paved the way to modernization for our country and who had good personality. During the discussion, different scholars explained that understanding the right history of the emperor, people should respect and praise Emperor Minilik II.
ብዙ ጸሐፍት ከሀገር ውስጥ ከውጭ ስለ ምኒልክ ስለ ኢትዮጵያ አጠቃላይ ብዙ ነገር ጽፈዋል።
Many local and foreign writers wrote many things about Emperor Minilik and the overall future of Ethiopia. However, the facts in right histories have been transferring to this generation in wrong way. The young generation has been informed the history of Emperor in a distorted manner. We have the responsibility to teach this generation about the true history of our past leaders like Emperor Theodorus, Minilik, Haile Selassie and so on.
This ማነጽ የኛ የቀደሙት ወደፊትም የሚመጡት አሁንም ያሉት ሰዎች ኃላፊነት ነው።
As to the participants of the discussion, people are expected to learn from history that Emperor Minilik had played a irreplaceable role for his country's identity and development. We should defend any wrong speech and perception forwarded towards Emperor Minilik. The government also has responsibility to correct wrong perceptions and inverted image that other people have about the emperor.
በጣም የተዛባ ታሪክ በእኒህ ድንቅና መካር መሪ ላይ ያው በይፋ ሲካሄድ እንደነበረ እናውቃለን።
We know that hostility campaigns were officially being exercised on this precious leader, not only on the emperor, but also strong propagandas were being diffused on the people of Amhara in general. For Emperor Minilik was from the nation of Amhara. For instance, the annual obelisk in Arsi can be taken as one of the manifestations for that wrong propaganda.
የአርሲው የአኑዌል ሐውልት ነው።
እሳቸው ከክልል በላይ ናቸው ወይም ከአማራ ህዝብ በላይ ናቸው ለኢትዮጵያ ናቸው።
Emperor Minilik is beyond the nation of Amhara and he contributed a lot not only for Amhara but also for our country Ethiopia. So we have to learn the history and should respect him. And other people must stop considering the emperor and people of Amhara as historical criminals.
ታሪኩን እንዲመረምርና ከታሪኩ እየተማረ ደግሞ እንዲዘክር
ትክክለኛውን ታሪክ አውቆ ምኒልክ በዛ ሰዓት
We have to identify the right history that Emperor Minilik sacrificed a lot to bring modernization to our country. Therefore, we existing generation are expected to learn from those past deeds and to try to work better than our forefathers.
The discussion was held having the leading word, let's know our history and commemorate our heroes. And the birthday commemoration of Empress Taitu and Fithavrari Gabayu was also celebrated together. During the day, teaching and learning materials are collected to support students who are poor in finance. On the other hand, Emperor Minilik's birthday has also been celebrated in Ntoto. The celebration was held at the earliest palace of Minilik and his wife Empress Taitu, built in 1875. Participants of the ceremony said that celebrating this event has multi-dimension meaning. It explains that Emperor Minilik is not a pride for only Ethiopians, but also he is for other black Africans. We are also responsible to preserve the right history and transfer it for the coming generation.
ምኒልክ እኮ በአገራቸው አልነገሱም እንጂ
Even though Emperor Minilik is not that much respected here in our country, he is well dignified in other African and foreign countries. The emperor played pivotal role for the development of Ethiopia.
In the birthday ceremony, various historians, artists, and different people of the community where participants visited the place and they had a ceremony of lighting candle.
Youths engaged in voluntary activities in Amhara region said they have found the people welcoming and peaceful. Brian Workner.
ሰላም የለም ችግር አለ ሲባል ስለምንሰባ እዛ ሆነን
We heard there was no peace in Amhara regional state. There was a problem before coming to this place. When I was assigned in Amhara regional state, I was very frightened, but when I see the hospitality starting from East Gojam until we reached Bahadar, it was special to me, and I was very happy. We are doing best things here, and we are also visiting, and it was beyond my expectation to me. The people are lovely and sociable.
ህዝቡ በቃ በጣም ፍቅር የሆነ ህዝብ ነው።
አማራ ክልል ምናምን ባለው ኮንሽ ከባድ ስለሆነ አትጂ ነው የሚባለውና አትጂ ብለውኝ
They told me not to go to Amhara region, but I have decided and come to this place. Primarily, I was assigned to go to Walaita, but I have preferred to go to Bahardar because I want to see Bahardar. There are my friends who were assigned at Bahardar, but they have decided not to go to Bahardar and they have gone to Magali. When I come and see the place and the people, they are special. The hospitality at Debra Marcos from Salam and Bahardar was fascinating. I have a special feeling for the people and I am very happy. What you hear out of the region and what you see here is completely different.
ውጭ ሆነ የምትሰማውና እዚህ መጥተህ በጣም የተለያየ ነገር ነው የሆነብኝ ለራሴ።
መጀመሪያ የትግሬ ልጅ መሆኔን አልናገርም ነበር መጀመሪያ።
Primarily, I was not telling them where I am because I have a trait. After I have gotten strong relation with people, I start to tell them just I am from Tigray. Now I am really very happy. I don't know why the people get called. I am very happy being the participant of this event, and I am also very happy being at Bahardar. I have seen that I can go anywhere and I can do whatever in Ethiopia.
የትም ቦታ መሄድም መስራትም እንደምችልም ነው ያየሁት። እነሱ ጋር ስጋት ነበር።
My friends have some trait, but I have learned it at Woldia University. I know the people of Amhara very well, so I was not afraid.
አጋጣሚውን አግኝተው ያዩት አሉ። ምናልባት በዚህ አጋጣሚ ሀሳባቸው ይቀየራሉ ብዬ አስባለሁ።
Groundworks are being run so as to colorful celebrate Shade Festival in Sekota town of Wagemra Nationality Administration. Our reporter Fikradi Zodu from Sekota has a telephone report concerning the preparation works to the festivity. Hello Fikradi, it's good to have you.
Good
Hello?
to have you too. How are you, Freda?
What are the preparation works being underway for Shade Festival in Sekota?
Today is the eve of Shade celebration, and I think Sekota is ready to celebrate. You know, there were a language and culture symposium for 2 days, including today. So generally, it was about usage and development of Amhara language. And on the symposium, research were presented, and participants were raising issues like maintaining a typical tradition and values of the people, which are dressing, adornment, and having a formal structure for the usage of their language.
How the town is fit to accommodate guests coming to the town, especially in terms of hotels, restaurants, and the transports?
They have been doing some work regarding that. By the way, Freda, Shade is a festival of women, and it has both religious and cultural values. Religiously, this celebration marks the end of a 2-week-long fasting known as Omepeta, when adherents of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church gather to honor the Virgin Mary. And on the other hand, Shade is a long green grass, which women hang it on their waist like a skirt for the celebration. And the invited guests are arriving, like traditional musicians, traditional dancing groups, media, and honorable guests, including the former Prime Minister Tamrat Laine, who was born and raised in Sekota, is here for the celebration. And in addition, the ladies shop jewelry of all kinds for personal adornment. They do their hair according to their age, and we can see kids, youth, and adults looking their best with their traditional accessories. And we hope this will contribute a lot for registering the Shade celebration in UNESCO.
Fikradis, what are the events and the programs scheduled to be performed throughout the holiday?
In addition to Shade, in the coming schedule, there will be a discussion on Thursday between the use of Sekota and Tamrat Laine, and there will be a beauty contest. And further, this is all I have observed, and there are the preparations there so far. And we will be covering the Shade celebration live from Sekota tomorrow.
Fikradis Zaudu live from Sekota, thank you for your telephone report. Thank you very much. Have a good stay.
You're welcome.
We wish all Muslim followers a happy Eid al-Adha, and that is the end of our news. Many thanks for watching, and I am Fraser Armas along with the studio crew. Stay tuned with the rest of our programs from Amhara TV.